Today we get our first look at boys soccer. The Hilltoppers coming into today's game at 1-0-2 against Bridgewater-Raynham. Hello again, everybody. I'm Evan Massoud. Welcome to the broadcast. Thrilled to be back with you here on Fred TV. We have boys soccer today, and Durfee's looking to keep it going. They're coming off a strong win on Wednesday, and now just 2 days later, they get Bridgewater-Raynham for the first time this season. Should be a good matchup. Coach Tiberio Mello told me preseason that, lots of changes to the rules and guidelines, of course, much like with field hockey, which we discussed on our last broadcast. And Coach said that the players are doing a great job at adhering to those guidelines and really adapting and making the adjustments in-game to all the new changes. So let's hear from Coach right now.
They're positive so far. I'm hoping when game situations come up, it will be the same thing. They will be positive about it and just realize that us playing is a luxury right now and under these conditions. I know the rules are different. It's not what we all wanted, but I think they have to understand it's the only way for it to be done. It's either that or no playing at all, and I think this is better than nothing.
We're just minutes away from the start of this one. Durfee, again, coming off a win against the Wildcats. It was Roman Codner and Cameron Jacobs scoring the 2 goals for Durfee on Wednesday. Can the Hilltoppers keep it going today? All the action next on Fred TV. Stick around.
Honor, courage, sacrifice, pride, our city. Fall River has traditionally been in the forefront of honoring our nation's soldiers, sailors, Marines, and airmen. Vietnam veterans took the initiative to secure rights to an 80% size replica of the Healing Wall for Veterans Bicentennial Park. The names of over 58,000 fallen heroes will be engraved on the 360-foot long replica wall. 100% of the money raised benefits the building of our Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall in Fall River. Help build our wall, which is scheduled to open in 2020. The meaning, the spirit, and the value of the wall is everyone's. Be part of this exceptional, once-in-a-lifetime project. To make a donation, please visit vietnammemorialwall.org or connect with us at facebook.com.
Welcome back to the field, everybody. Evan Massoud with you here on Fred TV. Just about ready to get this one started. We are hoping that we will stay dry, but there's some rain not too far off. So fingers crossed here that the weather won't play too much of a factor. It's actually kind of warm. 66 degrees here at 4 o'clock game on Friday the 16th. Not too bad for mid-October. We've certainly had worse, right, Jake? Jake Fitzgerald running camera today for us, along with Daniel Keating and Cameron Norwood. Actually, they're working the sidelines right now, getting some stock footage with another camera, so but they'll be up here as well. So we've got a good Fred TV crew on hand for today as well. All right, as I mentioned in the open, the Hilltoppers grabbed that first victory in their last game just a couple days ago against the West Bridgewater Wildcats, a 2-1 game, close game, and a chance here for Massa to make his first save. He scoops it. BR comes in at 0-2-1. Their tie was to Brockton. It was a 2-2 score, and their losses were to West Bridgewater and New Bedford. I'll tell you, West Bridgewater's kind of been a bit of a surprise, taking on a couple of these upper divisional teams. West Bridgewater is part of the Mayflower, and they didn't have a place to play because the Mayflower Conference is not playing, and that's why Diamond and Bishop Conley are not playing. But I guess West Bridgewater, they got the injunction to play, and Southeast Conference here on the 5 teams here agreed to let them be the 6th. So, but they're showing something because they beat BR here, and that's never an easy task. BR is very solid across the board with their athletic programs. As we move it back towards midfield, I'm going through my notes here because I can recall West Bridgewater also beating one of the other teams. I think it might have been Dartmouth, if I'm not mistaken. No, Dartmouth does not have a loss. I'll find it as the game goes on. But West Bridgewater Wildcats definitely a maybe turning a few heads a little bit. Right now, we have started this game only one official. I'm not sure if the other official's late or if he's not going to make it, but we'll see if that has any factor on the game as well. Only one set of eyes patrolling a very large field of play. So you heard Coach Mello pregame in the soundbite when I had a chance to interview him during preseason practices. And again, a number of rule changes. We kind of discussed them with field hockey in our last broadcast. Those changes, here soccer is actually at full strength. Field hockey, went down from 11 versus 11 to 7 on 7. But soccer here, still full contingent of players, 11 taking on 11. But one of the challenges is that, and this is according to the state guidelines, as the Hilltoppers going to take a shot on net, and it's just wide to the left. According to the state guidelines and the league's guidelines, and everybody who worked to try to have this season happen, they cannot have any physical contact at all. Now, I've done 2 games. They actually happen to be both up in Dartmouth at DCTV with the local channel up there. As you know, I do some games for them. We actually, one of them was the Durfee game, the road game for these boys that was live streamed, so you may have seen that. But, I mean, in both of those games, there was so much physicality that, if the players weren't wearing masks, you would think it's just a regular soccer game. So I think it's going to be, unfortunately, it's probably going to be very subjective to the officials as to what they're going to call. And I say, unfortunately, it's not to knock the officials. It's more of, if these players are trying to follow certain rules and really be strict with the guidelines, if one group of officials is taking it light, the next one's not, then it's total confusion on the field as to, what are the limitations. So that's the only reason I say, unfortunately subjective, but that's kind of where it's at. So we'll see as this one goes on, you're going to see a ton of whistles because, again, really any physical contact that's really blatant and noticeable, they're going to blow it, and you're going to see indirect free kicks. You're not going to have, throw-ins. You're not going to have continuous play. It almost, in a way, feels a little bit like field hockey, to be honest with you, because there's a lot of stoppages. Anything that goes out on the side, no throw-ins. Again, no touching the ball, no headers. Coach mentioned that. That's a big, big factor to the game that's kind of been taken away. Even corner kicks, they're indirect. They're not, because you can't use your head in front of the net. So they're playing it on the ground first and then sending it towards the net. So lots of changes, and it's going to be all about adapting and trying to make the most of a season that at least the players are getting to play. And here we are, we're able to bring you the coverage as well, so you can see it home, because fans, at least here at Durfee, from what we're told, were allowed, but very, very limited in terms of however many we can have here, which I think the limit was, I think it had to be under 50. So, obviously we have, especially when the students used to be able to come out and watch, sometimes we'd have 50 students alone cheering on their friends and their athletes. So well, while that one goes out of play, we'll run down the starters for both sides. For the Trojans, in goal is James Nichols, first-year goalie for Coach Hammond. And then the rest of the starters, we have number 2, Josh Macefield, number 4, Dominic Ferrioli, number 8, Darrell Quist, number 9, Sean Catino, he is a captain, number 13, Quincy Hebert, number 16, Trevor Convent, number 19, Owen Green, number 22, a captain, Joe Midori. Oh, a chance for the Hilltoppers. There's an open net, and a whistle sounds. That's going to bail out the Trojans. 2 more starters for BR, number 23, Liam Brennan, and also a captain. There's 4 captains on this Trojans team. And number 35, Owen Trombley. Head coach for BR is Jason Hammond, assisted by Scott Blake and Justin Worth. For Durfee, We're going to pause on their lineup because the Hilltoppers going to have a penalty kick and look to take an early lead here. It's number 10, Cameron Jacob, who scored on Wednesday in the win against West Bridgewater. Takes a shot. Oh, what a save! Nichols able to make the play. So the Hilltoppers can't cash in on the penalty kick. We'll run down the rest of the starters. In goal, of course, for Durfee, Zach Massa. And the rest of the players, we have number 2, Jake Silva. Number 3, Colin Hargraves. Number 9, Roman Codner. Number 8, Dominic Esteves, excuse me. Number 10, Cameron Jacob. Number 13, Colin Gilmet. Number 14, Marcelo Montero. Number 18, Jacob Bigelow. Number 6, Brian Fernandez. Number 20, Ethan Machado. And as we run down those lineups, Cameron Jacob made up for the missed penalty kick. And just like that, Hilltoppers with the 1-0 lead. So Jacob having a nice week. 2 goals in 2 games so far. So it's a 1-0 Durfee lead here. We are just under 9 minutes into this one. That's going to feel good, especially, you know, after the penalty kick not going in, to be able to come right back and score. Hargraves weaving through traffic. Back to Jacob. Lofted in the air. Off the back shoulder of Catino. Chance for BR, and that is going to sail over the crossbar. Hebert sent it for a ride. Good block there, right off the chest. I believe that was Macefield. Free kick, Massa. Oh, just wide to the left. Oh, and it must have deflected off of one of the Hilltop. I don't think Zach got a hand on it. It didn't look to deflect when he dove. I thought it was out of reach, but apparently it did go out off of Durfee. Nice job to settle that by Codner. Down the field it goes. And it'll roll out of play on the bounce. Towards the middle of the field, Hargraves stops it. Codner. Passed up ahead. That's off the head. And a whistle. That one kind of ate up Brennan a little bit. It was able to play it off the upper chest, and there was so much spin on it, it popped up and hit him on the second bounce. So now an indirect here for the Hilltoppers. Anytime, inside the 25, it's a good spot to be in. That was deflected. As Catino came in pretty pretty quick as soon as the ball was set in play. Durfee took some time to get that one off. Going to be BR's ball. So that was direct here because it was a straight up foul. Down the field and out of play. Catino elects to play it back, try to set it up, and Codner comes in and stops it again on the sideline, passed up ahead. That was close to hands as Fernandez had lofted it. And once again, coming out of the goal is Nichols. Really aggressive. Ball loose in front. 4 Trojans there, and finally they clear it out. I'll tell you, Nichols, though, not afraid to come out after the ball. That's twice he's been kind of caught out of position a bit. And, you know, you can only play with fire so long before you get burned. And we've seen that before out of some other goalies as well, where they come out and they're very aggressive, and then before the end of the night, they end up getting burnt on it. And we'll see if his style, if the Hilltoppers end up sneaking another one by. Gilmet settling, gets it to Montero, and then down the field, gets through the defense. That's Codner on the far side, so he's switched sides here. Free kick for the Trojans. Under 5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. That being another change. We're doing quarters here in soccer instead of 40-minute halves, 20-minute quarters to allow the players to get a bit of a mask break and hydrate, and as well as to sanitize the soccer balls. So in between each quarter will be a mandatory 2-minute break. So in between the first and the second, and in between the third and the fourth. Played back to Matt Lewis, number 10. Hebert trying to settle it. Ethan Machado able to jar it loose, and Jacob Bigelow clears it out. Now Fernandes trying to turn around, sends it down the sideline, and it goes right to the Trojans bench. Good, strong kick in all the way down the field, and that's played off the chest. And coming all the way back towards the circle. I'll tell you one thing is both sides defensively been pretty stingy. I mean, we've seen most of the play here right in the middle of the field. Very few chances at either end in this first quarter. Oh, and I heard a whistle. Offside. Jacob wanted his second before the quarter comes to a close. He was hoping for a break, and he had help, too. Oh, Trojans ball. Hargraves called on the foul. Honestly, didn't see much there. Coutinho passing it into the circle. Forging ahead into the box. Will it stay in? No. Matt Lewis trying to reel it in. Out of play. And the whistle sounds. That's the end of one. Well, the Hilltoppers with an early goal. Cameron Jacob putting the Hilltoppers up 1-0. 20 minutes in the books. But really, aside from the penalty kick and Jacob's goal, not too many exciting moments in the first here. You know, again, a lot of just kind of back and forth, jostling for position in the middle of the field, but really no major breaks or anything like that. So we'll see, you know, if one side can kind of spread out the field a little bit and get some breaks and, you know, try to make something happen, create more opportunities. One of the things that Coach Hammond talked to me about pregame was that, you know, when they control the ball, that's really, you know, that's their bread and butter, is to really make sure that they control the ball and they're passing to feet. I mean, anybody, of course, that's what any team wants to do that, but that's something that, you know, through 3 games that he's seen, he'd like to see the Trojans kind of improve upon. He said in the Brockton tie, the 2-2 tie for them, you know, they did that very well. They were able to stay more competitive with Brockton. But he is, you know, he's very excited with this crew. There's a lot of seniors on his team. In fact, let's see here, 4, 7, another 5, 12 seniors on his team. And, they've been with him the last 3 years. So he knows what to expect from them, and they know what he expects. So, you know, it'll all come together I'm sure as the season goes on, it seems like, it's such a short season, but this is only the 4th game still, so which is about a third of the way through. So there's still a fair number of games to be played, and I'm sure BR will be very competitive in the end in terms of their overall record. For the Hilltoppers, the defense is where Coach Mello wants to see them be a little better today, and I think they have been better today. He said that something happened. They weren't quite as sharp. I mentioned that in the open. Not as sharp in the West Bridgewater game, their last game, which was a win, ironically, compared to the 2 ties that they had to start the season. He thought those 2 games were a better defensive performance. But one of the things that he did mention that's happened in the first 3 games is Durfee's kind of been a bit of a slower start. So it's nice to see the 1-0 lead, only halfway through that the first period, rather, because he said most of these games it's kind of been more of a second half game. So, to be able to play with a lead is always a good thing, especially if that lead comes early on. Our second official has made it to today's game. I guess there was some miscommunication. He was told that this game had been canceled, actually. So, got here pretty quick, though. I mean, when you consider we only played 20 minutes, so we will have both officials now on the field for the remainder of this one. Okay, second quarter has begun. So one of the things that you may notice as well, in addition to having the quarters here, is that they're switching sides here as well at each quarter. They're not just waiting for the half. So, much like football, switching sides. Oh, that one is going a long way with not much to show for it, unfortunately. Massa will set it in motion here. On the ground and scooped. Rolled to Gilmet. Now Hargraves trying to get through the defense. Excuse me, get through the forwards rather and clear it out. Something you may have noticed just there, I did mention it in the field hockey broadcast, is, with the masks, obviously the officials can't run around blowing whistles, so they have little gizmo in their hand, basically like a remote, that sounds the whistle. And honestly, I don't know why they didn't think of this a long time ago, because, holding that and running around with that in your hand is going to be a lot better than, a whistle in your mouth the whole time. Jacob with the feet up, and that's back-to-back scoop saves from Nichols. Jake running camera just made a good point. Is that once again, we see Nichols playing way outside.
Yeah, 30-yard line.
Way outside, even outside the box a bit, which is just very unconventional. And again, you know, that aggressive style of play is sometimes fun to watch. Gives you some hold your breath moments for sure, but it also can come back and bite you sometimes. I mean, the point of it is the further you come out, you know, you kind of make the goal a little smaller. But you also got to be careful how far you come out, because if you don't make the save initially, now you got a wide open net with nobody behind you.
Goalies aren't known for being the most nimble on their feet either.
That's a good point, Jake. Well, I will say Zach may be the exception on that, though, because Zach is very athletic in goal.
Let's keep an eye on. The goalie coach, Gomes, is a big fan of Zach Nelson.
Durfee defense allowing the Trojans to get a little bit of space down this end. That was Claudia Wing Alexis, number 7, trying to push through. Now Durfee will set it back in the field of play. Back towards the circle, Jacob. That was a good pass. He can't settle it. Lofted straight up. I think Durfee's going to get a free kick here. There was a little bit of a bump. Ethan Machado took a bit of a hit there. Well, no, they're actually giving it to BR. Sent towards the net, and it goes out of play. Joe Midori earning the foul, or forcing it, I should say. And now BR with a free kick. Going to set it up for Catino. Takes a shot, hot shot, and it's off the backside of Gilmet. And now Silva stops it at the sidelines. Going down is Midori. Couldn't redirect, lost his balance. Jacob settles it. Centering pass to Hargraves. Shot on net, and it's just over the crossbar. Saw that a couple times in the Dartmouth game on the road from Hargraves as well. He got some good shots, but they were just a little too high. Got to bring them down a little bit. Is Ivo Santos for Durfee, number 19. Recently subbing in, working that far side. Another shot on net and right into the hands of Nichols. Nichols has been busy. That's a great throw. Man, he got that out there 40 yards. Another chance for Hargraves passing to Santos. Can he beat him? Oh, Nichols came out. Hooking kick, and it's going to go through the uprights. Well, the Hilltoppers creating some opportunities. Been able to get a couple shots on net here over the last 3 or 4 minutes. Silva calling for it, gets it. Loses it. Durfee will kick it back in. Oh, nice pass around the defender there, Green. Jacob kicks it back to Fernandez, and Fernandez lost it. Coming in behind him there was Darryl Quist, and he took it away. Kicked into Midori. And there's a foul. Tough spot for a free kick here. On the ground, and it's going to go wide to the left. Couple subs coming in for the Hilltoppers. Santos heading out, and I think that was, number 17 there, Landon Medeiros coming out as well. Oh, Machado, bit of a whiff there. Kind of skipped by him. Durfee still pushing up ahead. I think Hilmy was caught offside there. Broke a little too quick. Machado stops that one, goes right back to Hargraves. Passed up ahead. And it's going to go out. Good effort there from the Trojans. Good hustle from Catino. Or excuse me, Quist. Silva, good send down the field. Hilmy into the corner. That's a push. That should be against BR. Oh, and we got a player hurt. Number 19, that's Owen Green. Kind of hobbling off a little bit. Kelly Mahoney, the trainer, coming out to meet him with the golf cart. Hilltoppers will get the indirect free kick. Hargraves, excuse me, and Silva will put it into play. Sent towards the net and played by. Oh, that should be a. Yeah, that's a bad foul.
35 is going to take a knee too.
Gonna give a yellow card to Cameron Jacob.
Yeah.
Oh, he sent. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
So it looks like, is that Catino, number 9? No, that's number 2. That's Macefield. Got sent.
Indirect in the box. I don't think those exist.
This is thoroughly confusing because I would have thought the foul would have been on Durfee. I would have thought Jacob would have gotten that foul because he collided with the goalie, kind of pushed off of him after Nichols had already made the save.
I think they're saying that he was pushed into the goalie.
Yeah, Jake is saying here that he thought they were saying he was pushed into the goalie, but I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah,
It didn't look like anybody was near
That's
Cameron.
Just the only explanation I can think of.
And now the trainer, that Kelly Mahoney's out on the field talking to the official. But it doesn't look like anybody's hurt.
Brad, you should go down there. Do some help. I guess so.
I mean, if Durfee's getting the shot right here inside the box, I thought any foul I thought a foul inside the box was an automatic penalty kick. Am I mistaken? Well, so yeah, if it's and Brad Bussin, our athletic director's in here too. So if it's on BR and they commit the foul in their zone, in their box, then it should be a penalty kick for Durfee. We shouldn't have players huddled up 2 feet from each other.
During a pandemic.
I've never seen this happen before. He gets a free kick right from there.
This is
I thought they wouldn't want to hit the wall.
now the wall of players is supposed to be within arm's length, so that's 6 feet. They're not 6 feet. Honestly, I mean, I thought I saw it all the first couple games of the season. I think I've seen it all now. I have never seen this.
It's indirect in the box.
Indirect in the box. I didn't even really think there was such a thing. Good call from athletic director Buston to. There you go. Well, after all that, the Hilltoppers make it 2-zip.
20.
Ethan Machado. That was the most ridiculous thing I think I've seen since the Indianapolis Colts lined up for a 4th down with 2 guys snapping the ball and everybody else off to the side against the Patriots a couple years ago. Because that's what that made me think of. Everybody's lined up in a huddle in one spot. What the heck was that?
I take it.
That's right, we'll take it. 2-0 the score. Hilltoppers lead it with 5 minutes to play in the half. And for me, I still can't for the life of me understand how it wasn't a foul on Durfee. Because that's, from what I saw at least, I mean, I know I'm not on the field. The official was behind the play, so opposite side of us. So he must have seen something, but there weren't that many bodies to be able to say, oh, there was something drastically different, at least not from my vantage point. We'll have to watch it back. It is, in my defense, folks, I'm going to tell you, it isn't easy 50-something yards away here to see every single thing perfectly, without a monitor or something. So, of course, the officials are on the field. They're the ones closer to the action. But, man, that was really strange. We're going to, and I'll tell you what, just to, I'm going to do the right stuff here. I'm going to go talk to Coach Mello at halftime, if I can grab him and see, or at least one of the assistant coaches, and ask them what exactly they saw on their side of the field. So we'll take, during the halftime break, I'll make my way down to the field and try to get an explanation. Oh, a chance for the Trojans, and they get one.
No.
Or are they taking it off? Are they taking it off the board or no? Oh, there's the celebration. Okay, I was going to say, I didn't see anything there either. And I believe that was Quist, yes. Darryl Quist broke through the defense, and it beat Massa to the corner. So 2-1 the score. So that burst of momentum for Durfee was short-lived, as the Trojans make it a one-score game once again. Now the officials are going to talk because, see, I knew we heard a whistle, Jake.
Yeah.
We heard a whistle.
Even Quist was looking around.
Even that's a good point. So even Quist, who scored the goal, was looking around because I think he expected the call because he heard the whistle that there was a foul. So that technically should negate the goal, and that's Durfee's argument right now. Both Durfee head coach Tiberio Mello and Corey Cardero arguing that on the sideline.
No goal.
No goal.
They're gonna get a kick. All the calls are going in our favor right now. So yeah, I'd say it's our
So the goal is taken off the board, but now a penalty kick because of the foul. So Quist is going to have a chance to get it anyway. Unless Massa can come up with the save. Durfee missed a penalty kick earlier, and it's good anyway. So there you go. So 2-1. We're back to 2-1.
Did they just call the period?
And I guess that's the end of the half as well. So the half ends with a penalty kick in one of the oddest and craziest final 5 minutes of a half you're going to see here, at least one that we've seen in a while. So let's clear our minds from the oddities we just witnessed here, and we'll turn the page. But first, before we take it to the break, we're going to take it to the break with some footage that we got today. This week, we had Walk to School Day today, and actually it's been going on during the week, and it's something that, here in the school district in Fall River, it's something that we're very proud to say we always have 100% participation. We're the only school district in Massachusetts to have that, and this year is the 8th year in a row, so that's really fantastic. Michelle Sharp, Fall River Public Schools Health and Phys Ed Coordinator, along with Marcia Picard, Executive Director and School Wellness Coordinator for Partners for a Healthier Community, always put this together. It's a great thing, and we were able to get some footage of the Tansy students walking from North Park. So they walked all the way up Hood Street and then down Ray Street. So we're going to roll that tape now, and we'll see you on the other side of that for the second half. You're watching high school soccer on Fred TV.
These people in the other manhole, what is happening?
Here's a story of Principal DC, who discovered a great group of eagle leaders. All of them have the same goal in their hearts, to grow little eagle souls. Here's a story of our eagle family. Everything we do is with love and compassion. We've missed our eagles being all together, but we're ready to soar. Even though things right now are not predictable, and the butterflies inside seem like a punch, rest assured that we will come together. That's the way we all became the eagle's nest, the eagle's nest, the eagle's nest. That's the way we all became the eagle's nest.
Welcome back to soccer on Fred TV Sports.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the broadcast. A little bit of a late start here. Nice save from Massa. Good job to be back for that save. I was down on the field talking to Coach Mello, so that's why the late arrival to the start of the third here. But basically, what happened in the box down on the right side of the field was there was a foul before Jacob hit the goalie. There was a push, and that actually happened. There was 2 other players involved in that. So it's an indirect free kick in the box because the goalie already had the ball. The ball was coming out. So that's why it wasn't a penalty kick. And I have to tell you, I'm pretty comfortable and confident with the soccer rules, but I have never witnessed that in 8 years of covering soccer here at Durfee and in Diamond and Conley. So, always something new. We learn too in terms of broadcasting and covering these games. So that's something I've never witnessed. Of course, Coach Mello was a little critical of that because, he says not supposed to have a wall. It's supposed to be 10 feet. I mean, there were 6 players in the goal. There was not 10 feet between each player, but, that's neither here nor there. Durfee did score on it. So down the other end, well, the penalty kick happened. There was a foul. It wasn't called initially, even though the whistle was blown. But regardless, BR did get that goal. It wasn't just on a straight goal. It was on the penalty kick. So still the same result on either end. But at least we got a bit of an explanation for it. So that's that. Welcome back. About 4 minutes into the third quarter. Evan Massoud with you. We have a 2-1 Durfee game. Durfee lead. And Hilltoppers, they look pretty good. They look better in that second quarter than they did in the first. I will say that. I think they still, they got to continue to try to create opportunities for themselves. In the second, they did have a number of shots on goal, and they were attacking the offensive zone a bit more than they did in the first. So hopefully for them, they can keep that going and kind of build on that. Already the 2 goals just in the first half alone. And so we'll see, we'll see how they can do here. They got 3-on-3 going. Jacob trying to play it and settle it. Oh, it skips by Machado. We actually, as I was just, if you can believe it, as I was just getting back to the booth, we got another little quick downpour, like a 10-second downpour, just enough to make everything damp and a little slick again. So, the ball's going to be a little bit wet. And you may see that be an issue for the players as well. Oh, and something else to clarify. I did talk with trainer Kelly Mahoney. The reason she drove out on the cart was because initially they were waving in her direction. She thought they were calling her, but I believe they were signaling to somebody on the bench for the Trojans. At least that was the explanation she was given. So she wasn't needed. There was not an injury on the field, but they looked in her direction and waved, and then they didn't call her off. She's driving 50 yards to the goal, and nobody called her off. So she thought that there was somebody injured out near the goal, and that wasn't the case. So if you're wondering why the cart came on the field as well, that's your explanation for that. So there was all kinds of craziness those last 5 minutes. We didn't know which way was up. So, but it's a new quarter, so we turn the page. Cleared out of the box. Trojans still trying to push ahead. They do. They send it towards the net. It's wide and off to the left. Played off the chest, in the air, on the fly. Tell you one thing, it's got gotten considerably cooler out at field level. The wind has picked up. It's already dropped about 5 degrees, so it'll be pretty nippy compared to when we started, when this one is done. Cleared by Gilmet. Sent down into the corner. Will it stay in? Jacob. Nice end around move there. Now I'm going to kick it back. And cleared out by the Trojans. Whistle sounds. And another opportunity squandered. And very quickly, the Trojans make it all the way back down this end of the field. Ball still loose in the box. A whistle sounds. Durfee not happy to hear that, and I think we're going to have ourselves a penalty kick. Oh, it's going to be a free kick. Chance for BR to tie it halfway through the third. Blocked by the Hilltoppers. Nice job. Might have heard Coach Mello on the far side saying, "Attack, boys, get ready to attack." As soon as the ball was put into play, they all did. They broke right for the ball. Trojans still doing a good job controlling the ball and controlling pace of play up this end. Now finally sent down the other direction for Durfee. Jacob loses it, cuts back in, takes it away, and the whistle sounds. And now the Hilltopper's going to have a free kick from a pretty good spot. Blocked by, BR still in play though. Durfee was able to come away with another foul. Or should another whistle. Durfee's going to have the corner kick. That one. Send it into the corner. Will it stay? Thought it might bounce out and go into the construction site. Well, Durfee with a couple chances there. Unable to cash in. Codner cuts it off on Ferrioli. It'll be BR ball. That's a handball on Ethan Machado. A little more lenient with what parts of the arm it can actually come up on you because you can't use the head. So if you're using the chest, your shoulder, part of the arm is acceptable, but anything like, the elbow, that's not going to happen. Anything or forearm, that's not going to happen either. So it took a high bounce on Machado. Sent down the field. Jacob pulls up. Has some room. Now going to send it. Nobody there to help. And it's a quick throwback from Nichols. Codner cuts it off, takes it away. Now to Fernandez. And another scoop save from Nichols. Fernandez just got taken out. He's down. Now up. Montero trying to take that one away. Fernandez and Quist getting tangled up. It's a free kick for Durfee. Violation committed there on the free kick for Durfee. And now BR will get their free kick to send it back down the field. Under 5 minutes to play in the third. That one going all the way down into the corner and rolling out. Wow, Midori really took a hard hit there. down the sideline. Cut off by Ferrioli. Hargraves with the pass down the other side. Nobody there. Back to Catino. And up ahead now to Midori. And Massa comes out quite a ways to fall on it. Across the middle to Machado. Violation on Machado is going to give another free kick for the Trojans as Catino spent more time on the ground over the last couple minutes than he's been standing and getting knocked down. That one skyward, way out of play. And one of the Trojans now down at the 40-yard line. And here comes Kelly Mahoney. Grabbing the knee. That's never a good sign. Okay, back from the injury timeout here. That was number 35, Owen Trombley, having to be carried off by his teammates, or carried to the car at least, so that trainer Kelly Mahoney could cart him off. Never a good thing. He was grabbing his knee, and the fact that he couldn't stand on his own is never a good sign. So we wish Owen the best. Hopefully it's not as bad as it looks. And that came in the final 2 minutes so of this third quarter as well. So we're almost done here with 3 and going to be switching sides. Centering pass, oh, just to the right. That was a good chance for Durfee. They haven't really set anything up like that all game long, coming in from the corner and trying to get it back to center. So that's, we'd like to see that. That's for sure. Those are kind of the textbook setups. You work the sideline and then you get it in front and hope someone's there to help you out. Fernandez takes a shot. Oh, what a save from Nichols. Second chance, and it knocked down the Trojan player in front. Glad he's okay, but I'm going to tell you, that's one of those that you tend to see on like the sports bloopers where, second chance kick coming in hot and heavy, take it off the face, and you fall back like a bowling pin. I mean, there's nothing you can do about those. There's no time to react. But what a great chance I'll tell you, Fernandez made something kind of out of nothing right there. And Durfee almost got their third goal. So close. All right, well, we're done with 3 here. Jake figured out how to turn the lights on. That's a good thing. I'm pointing at the light. I'm pointing at the wall. I'm pushing the wall with my hand from 10 feet away, like to push the button, and Jake says I need to learn sign language. Welcome to a behind-the-scenes look at our Fred TV Sports broadcasts. We don't have any fun, right? Oh, gosh. All right, well, after 3, Durfee with the 2-1 lead. And no scoring happening in that third, although, again, Durfee with one heck of a chance right there. Couldn't cash in. So we stay here with the Hilltoppers up by 1. They have never trailed in this one. They've led almost the whole way, aside from the first 9 minutes or so of the game. So we'll see if they can nail it down. Another goal would certainly give some much-needed breathing room, that's for sure. But we'll see if they can hold on and come away with their second victory. Again, 1-0-2 is Durfee's record. No losses yet, but the 2 ties. BR is still looking for that first win, 0-2-1. So, and it's been a pretty tightly contested game. Yeah, again, we haven't seen a ton of breaks or anything, and that, to me, tells me that the defenses have been quick to the ball. If they're not allowing any extra breaking, any room for someone to get through towards the net, then that means the defenders are doing their job for the most part. So as we begin the fourth, the question being, can Durfee hold on? Can BR pull even? They've had a couple chances as well and have not been able to. Durfee gets to set the ball in play first. They start with possession. And we did switch sides, by the way, just a reminder there too. And man, I'll tell you, the wind has changed It was like 70 degrees almost when we started, but it's gotten considerably cooler. And even being inside, I think the jacket's going on. Yeah, we got the windows open here. So 4 windows in this little booth. Plenty of fresh air, that's for sure, but definitely keeps it cool. Tell you one thing that'll be interesting is, and obviously getting ahead of ourselves, but if we end up playing football in the extra season, there is no football this fall, and that's because the MIAA created a 4th season that's going to be between winter and spring. So unified basketball is not happening. Football is not happening. Durfee is not doing girls volleyball this fall. They pushed that off as well. Now, Dartmouth is, and I believe BR is, but Durfee was not, and I think Brockton elected not to as well. So they pushed it off to that fall number 2, or fall 2.0, if you will. So with that said, I mean, football could very easily be playing in a snowstorm in February, which would be rather interesting. And considering how cold it gets in end of October, early November, doing those games here, one can imagine that it'll be extremely unpleasant doing the games, doing football in February. But, if it's snowing, it might add to the fun factor. I can tell you one thing is we will not be on the roof. That is just not happening. Nope, not happening at all. So we'll get through the fall and the winter first. But still, it's an interesting concept to kind of look forward to, because there were a couple times over the last 4 or 5 seasons that we came close to seeing some snowflakes on Thanksgiving. Actually, in fact, Jake and I we had a snow squall on the Thanksgiving Eve game 2 years ago. That was when Diamond decided to play Thanksgiving night, because the morning was going to be so frigid. They said it would be warmer at night. And what happened? I went down to the field to talk to the coaches pregame, and we had, blizzard conditions for about 20 minutes. It was ridiculous, but pretty wild nonetheless. So, yeah, you never know. Well, that's a good point. Jake bringing up the playoff game we did for, was that the South Finals? I think it was the finals of the bracket. For Atlantis Charter, the boys soccer team, they made it very far, and it was their first year of the program. Made it very deep into the tournament in Division 4, and so we went up to, where did we go? Whitman-Hanson? Was it Whitman-Hanson? No. It's another hyphenated name. It's a suburb of Brockton. Holbrook? I knew it was an H. Whitman-Hanson, H. Okay. So it was Holbrook, the new facility out there. That was horrendously cold. I was cold in the booth. Jake was on the roof. So I really don't have anything to complain about. But if I was cold, the roof was far worse, I can assure you. That one, not a play. All the way to the far side. We go sideline to sideline here. Out of play. And it should be a goal kick for the Hilltoppers. It is. Big kick, gonna land in the circle, in fact. And that one will go wide as well. Another goal kick coming. I'll tell you one thing. We have ourselves a stacked week next week for sports. Initially, we were only going to have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but with the cancellation or the postponement from Tuesday when we had all that rain, field hockey last Tuesday got moved to this coming Monday here. So we have field hockey on Monday, a makeup game against West Bridgewater. Then Wednesday, kind of a double hit. Part of the crew is going to be at the country club getting some footage. We hope it doesn't rain because we want to get some drone footage of the golf course while Durfee makes up the golf match that was supposed to happen as well on Tuesday. And then we'll also be here for girls soccer. Going to get our first look at the Lady Hilltoppers this season on Fred TV. That's Wednesday at 4. Then we have more field hockey on Thursday. New Bedford coming to town. And then on Friday, boys soccer against New Bedford right here as well. So easily our busiest week, because then that last week of October leading to Halloween, we actually, if I'm not mistaken, we only have actually one production on our side. 2 of the games are road games that I'm going to be in Dartmouth for, calling for DCTV, but those games are Durfee games. So field hockey on the road and girls soccer on the road. So again, as we continue to also collaborate with DCTV, their game will be live streamed, so it'll be available to live as well. So once we get through next week, kind of lightens up a little bit, but next week's definitely the busiest one. We're going to get to see all of the teams, all the players. Hilltoppers with a free kick. I said it before, anytime that you're inside the 20-25, it's a good spot to be in for a free kick. We'll see if they can cash in here. About 12 plus minutes to play. And it looks like it might have been deflected. It definitely lifted a bit. I think it might have gone out off of one of the Trojans. Yeah, and that is the call. It looks like we're going to have ourselves a corner kick for the Hilltoppers because ball came in low and it kind of took a step up. It'll be Silva waiting, sends it towards the net. That's off of the head. And I think we can do it again. Yep, another corner kick. And once again, Silva and Coleman Riley, number 4. Silva lost it, goes out of play. It'll still be Durfee ball. But a good job there from Alexis to clear it out and at least get it away from the goal line. Now, see, I didn't like that. That's twice that's happened to Durfee today that I can at least remember that really stuck out to me. They put the ball in play, and it's almost like they're trying to fake out the defender before they, really send the ball. But the defender's coming full steam ahead. The ball's in play. They're going to try to do something with it. I mean, to me, put it in play and send it. Because now what happens? Basically, you gave up the ball. Jacob gets called. That's a straight up foul, so he gets called on it. Pretty sure the official had said a direct free kick. Yeah, it is. It's going to be Catino, excuse me, number 9. That is going too far. And the wind is really picked up out on the field, too. All right, 10 minutes to play. Hilltoppers still clinging to the 2-1 lead. Can they hold on? Jacob loses it. Durfee, though, able to clear it for the moment. Fernandez plays it off the chest. Good try there. I like the idea. Ended up bouncing off of Brennan. That was Kareem Hilmy. Hilltopper's looking at another free kick. Well, it's so challenging. That's where the whistles really kill you. We've seen that a number of times as well. That you're trying to set the play, you get the ball back, ready to spin and fire towards the net, and then you hear the whistle, and it's like it really just halts that pace of play. That soccer is so fluid and continuous. It's definitely, it's frustrating to watch. I imagine it's definitely frustrating for the players, too, to not be able to just keep moving and constantly have to be stopped dead in their tracks thanks to the whistle. Kept in play. Another free kick coming for the Hilltoppers, I believe, as Hilmy hit the deck. Good hard-fought effort there for Durfee to try to keep that one and not allow BR to, kind of get out of the area. It's still stuck on defense, really. That one skipped by Hilmy. Would have been almost a 2-on-1, but was not able to corral it as it scooted by. And it'll roll. Good transition there from BR. Lost control of it right around the 20. Still in the box, and now cleared out toward the sideline. The Hilltoppers Hargraves gets tripped.
Good job, Robin.
And now he's hurting. Clock continues to roll. 4 minutes to go. Durfee with another free kick from a pretty decent spot. This is a straight up free kick. That's sailing to the right, down into the corner. Nice job from Riley to stop it. Silva coming in, lost it. Skyward, bouncing it just inside the 10. Hilmy cuts it off. Centering pass. Anybody home? No, it's cleared out. Oh, they had Nichols out of position too. Wide open on the left side of the net. Couldn't turn it in. That was a great effort from Hilmy. To the middle of the field for Jacob. Sending it towards the net, and it's no good. Another collision there. He and Catino have really spent more time down on the turf. It's been a lot of physicality. You see them, they get up. There's no, no hard feelings. It's good sportsmanship. It's just hard-nosed soccer, really. We're at the 2-minute mark. So if Durfee can hold off BR in any final surge, they'll grab win number 2. Fernandez, wow, what an effort. Fernandez, too, that's twice he's done that. Oh, and he gets taken out. Fernandez has really had a nice game. Really trying to create opportunities. Almost, again, back in the third, almost had a goal of his own down this other end. And, really been quick to the ball all game long. And, maybe a good thing this one's almost wrapping up because some bands of rain making their way across the field again. I can see them up in the lights. I tell you, we got lucky because the forecast was not favorable for today. But for the most part, it's been fairly dry. I mean, they were talking heavy rain like we had last Tuesday when games got postponed. So I'd say we consider ourselves pretty lucky that we got this one in. Skied in the air, gonna land. Oh, did you see? Did you see Midori? Almost like he wanted to go for the header, and then the last second he ducked. forgetting that he can't do that. And a shot on net real quick here. Again, we're in the final two. Massa will take his time getting up. Down the sideline it goes. Kept in by Green. Silva. Out of play it goes. Hey, that's the game, folks. Not as eventful of a second half, especially when you consider the craziness at the end of the first half. But nonetheless, Durfee able to hold on. A scoreless second half for both sides. It was 2-1 at halftime, and it stayed that way. So the Hilltoppers make it 2 wins in a row, back-to-back 2-1 victories this week on the Wednesday-Friday schedule. So not a bad way to, 2 ties to start the season, 2 wins here in games 3 and 4. Not too bad. For BR, unfortunately, back to the drawing board again, unable to get that first win. They're now 0-3-1 on the season. Again, only about a third of the way through. It's really only about a 10 to 12 game season. So, yeah, there's still a number of games to be played. But, when you think of it that way, we've already done 30% of the games. It's pretty amazing how quickly this is going to go by. So, all right. Well, we hope you have a great weekend, everybody. Make the most of it. And we'll be back next week with many more games. Again, we read down the, the schedule of games that we have on tap. We got 2 field hockey games, girls soccer and boys soccer, and also we'll be getting some golf highlights. So a stacked week coming up. We hope you'll stick around and be watching for our coverage on Fred TV. Be sure to like and follow us on Facebook at Fred TV Sports. We also have our YouTube channel launched now, dedicated specifically to sports. That's also, again, the same handle as well. So be sure to subscribe there. Thanks to the crew behind the scenes here, Jake, Daniel, and Cameron. I'm Evan Massoud saying so long from Durfee High School.